Major Dan Feferman is former IDF or the Israeli Defense Force member and foreign policy expert. Glenn Carl is former CIA officer. I do thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Major Feferman, I begin with you. Israeli military has announced that they continue to strike nuclear sites in Bushehr, Ifshan, Natanz. That two-thirds of Iran's missile launchers have been struck. But there is a sense growing that maybe Israel underestimated what Iran was capable of, and for that final blow or final solution to the Iranian nuclear sites, are you dependent on the U.S. support?
Thanks for having me on again. First of all, I think we overestimated, and that's always a good thing in military conflicts, is to overestimate your enemy, your capabilities, to not rush into war. We thought and understood, and now we're feeling it, that there are very clear consequences for launching such a strike. It is important to always put into context for our global viewers that this is a conflict that Iran started long ago against Israel. And as Iran came closer and closer to achieving nuclear weapons capacity, Israeli leaders felt they could not wait around any longer. We estimated that the Iranian missile attacks would be much more severe. We estimated that we would need at least a week longer than it took us to neutralize Iran's air defense capabilities. And we estimated many thousands of casualties in Israel from Iran itself, but also from Hezbollah and from other Iranian proxies. And so we're actually, although we have lost well over 20 civilians and many, as you can see on the screen, civilian infrastructure, including now a major hospital, have been hit and badly damaged. This is part of the price that Israeli leaders and Israeli society, it's important to say, Israeli society is willing to pay.
Okay, but what about the dependence on U.S. as far as those bunker busters are concerned? It doesn't seem like this conflict will move very further until U.S. decides whether it wants to help you or not.
Well, the U.S. entering this conflict, first of all, that needs to be an internal American decision, and it needs to be in accordance with American interests. Israel has never asked, nor does it want any other country to fight its battles for it. I believe that taking out Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear weapons capability is absolutely in America's interests, but President Trump was democratically elected on an America First policy, and that is correct for the American people. So that he needs to consider, and the United States leadership needs to consider, what is there. Will America's entrance and the use of the bunker busters, the GBU ordinances that can penetrate, the Fordo centrifuge area that is some 90 meters underground, yes, it's very helpful. Israel had no pretensions that it can completely dismantle Iran's nuclear program on its own. What Israel is doing, though, is looking at the nuclear program, missile program, regime, decision-making capacity from a holistic aspect. And so it's taking out all of the different parts of what we can call the supply chain of a nuclear and ballistic missile and military apparatus, and it's not just hitting one site. Ultimately, what we would need to see is much like Gaddafi gave up Libya's nuclear program. You would want to see the Iranian regime completely give up all pretensions of a nuclear program, or best case scenario, that the people of Iran would rise up and take out this terrible regime.
Yes.